So just came over to check out the Wengen cable car, the new fastest cable car in the world, bottom to top in 37 seconds. Actually, no, I'm just joking. But it only takes 4 minutes. This is just a little bit speeded up video. And they just, instead of talking to you about the rocks and the trees and the walk up and the walk down, which takes 2 hours, I'm going to tell you a little bit about, let's talk politics, maybe, on our way down, standing on top of the cable car. There were 4 politicians: everybody, somebody, nobody, and anybody. Whenever there was an important job to be done, everybody was sure that somebody would do it. Anybody could have done it, but nobody did it. When nobody did it, everybody got angry because it was everybody's job. Everybody thought that somebody would do it, but nobody realized that nobody would do it. So consequently, everybody blamed somebody when nobody did what anybody could have done in the first place. And then Trump got elected. Let me tell you a little bit about my dog. Now, everybody I know who's got a dog usually calls him Jake or Max or Buster. I call mine Sex. Now, Sex has been very embarrassing to me. When I went to City Hall to renew the dog's license, I told the clerk that I wanted a license for Sex. He said, "I'd like to have one too." Then I said, "But she's a dog." He said he didn't care what she looked like. I said, "You don't understand. I've had Sex since I was 9 years old." He replied, "You must have been quite a strong boy." When I decided to get married, I told the minister I'd like to have Sex at the wedding. He told me to wait until after the wedding was over. I said, "But Sex has played a big part in my life, and my whole world revolves around Sex." He said he didn't want to hear about my personal life and would not marry us in his church. I told him everybody would enjoy having sex at the wedding. The next day we were married at the Justice of Peace. My family was barred from the church from then on. When my wife and I went on our honeymoon, I took the dog with me. We checked into the motel. I told the clerk I wanted a room for me and my wife and a special room for Sex. He said that every room in the motel was a place for Sex. I said, "You don't understand. Sex keeps me awake at night." The clerk said, "Me too." One day I entered Sex in a contest, but before the competition began, the dog ran away. Another contestant asked me why I was just looking around. I told him I was going to have Sex in the contest. He said that I should have sold my own tickets. "You don't understand," I said. "I hope to have Sex on TV." He called me a show-off. Last night, Sex ran off again. I spent hours looking all over for her. A cop came over and asked me what I was doing in the alley at 4 o'clock in the morning. I said, "I'm looking for Sex. My case comes up next Thursday." Well, that dog has almost driven me crazy. So I started seeing a psychiatrist, and she asked me, "So what seems to be the trouble?" I replied, "Sex has been my best friend all my life, but now she's left me forever. I can't live any longer being so lonely." The doctor said, "Look, mister, you should understand that Sex isn't a man's best friend, so go get yourself a dog." And that is a nice looking pool. What a beautiful view down this valley. So a salesman sat down in the airplane next to a politician, which blocked the politician in the inside seat. The politician had been cheated once by a salesman and despised salesmen. The salesman, knowing that politicians are the least productive and some of the highest paid individuals in society, despised politicians. As soon as the plane was airborne, the salesman slipped his shoes off to relax and got out his laptop to catch up on his work. The politician asked if he'd get up to get a Coke, but the salesman offered cheerfully, "I'll get it for you." As soon as the salesman left, the politician picked up one of the salesman's shoes and spit in it. The salesman brought the Coke back and sat down. After about an hour, the politician asked again to get up a Coke. When the salesman offered again, "No problem, I'll get you another one." When the salesman was gone, the politician picked up the other shoe and spit in it. When the salesman returned, his feet were cold, and so he slipped on his shoes and immediately knew what happened. He immediately turned to the politician and said, We gotta stop this fighting, this ridiculous spitting in shoes and pissing in cokes. And that's the landing.